We are continuing our breaking news coverage of an assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump. It happened at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. That's near Pittsburgh. The former president says that he was shot in the right ear. He was taken to a local hospital and then released. The suspected shooter was killed. One of the rally attendees is dead and two were critically injured. All of this happening in the middle of the presidential race and the battle for Pennsylvania. Joining us now from the newsroom is Republican analyst Joe Watkins. Joe, can you tell us, how does this change the presidential race with the Republican National Convention just a day away?
Well, it has a huge impact. Obviously, I think it's certainly going to energize President Trump. It's going to energize the Trump base. So they'll head into the convention early next week with a great head of steam. Of course, there'll be more security there, a lot more security than there might have otherwise been, given what just happened. But when you have this kind of an assassination attempt on the presumptive nominee, all it does is fuel enthusiasm for that nominee. So I suspect that President Trump will enter the convention next week. When he speaks next Thursday, he's liable to get a 10 or 15 or 20-minute standing ovation from the people that are there, and that'll be seen by everybody in the country that's watching, and of course in the people around the world.
And we're hearing from political figures on both sides of the aisle who are denouncing political violence, including President Biden. One thing that stood out in Biden's message is how he called Trump Donald. What's the significance there with him calling him Donald instead of calling him Trump?
Well, I really liked what President Biden had to say. I thought he said the right thing. You know, in this country, you can agree to disagree. You can have differences of opinion, but you don't shoot candidates with whom you disagree, and there's no reason for this kind of action. That this is unsatisfactory. I really liked what President Biden had to say, because he spoke as an American on behalf of all Americans, and he called out this assassination attempt. So he did the right thing. The fact that he called him Donald shows that they've known each other for a long time, so that familiarity is good as well. But it's great that President Biden is praying with his family for former President Trump, and I think that everything he said was right on point. Yeah,
definitely hearing him call former President Trump Donald had that sense of genuine care there. All right, well, thank you, Joe. Within the last hour, our Ross DiMattei arrived in western Pennsylvania, not far from the scene. We have Ross on the phone. Ross, what can you tell us?
Hey, Aziza, good evening. Yeah, so as soon as we saw the news and what had happened with the former president, the first thing we thought was we need to book a flight to Pittsburgh to get some a reporter presence on the ground in Butler, Pennsylvania, the site of the former president's rally earlier today and where this suspected assassination attempt took place. So we were able to secure a couple of seats for myself as well as my photographer, Bill, on a flight to Pittsburgh. We actually just landed at around 10:30. We just secured our bags, our luggage, and we're now getting into the rental car. And we're about to make the trek to Butler, Pennsylvania, which is a little less than an hour north of Pittsburgh. Again, the site of the former president's rally and this assassination attempt. And obviously, there's so many unanswered questions at this point, particularly the status of the former president, as well as the shooter, who is now believed to be dead. Were there more shooters, more people associated with this plot to potentially assassinate the former president? And these are the kinds of questions that we want to try and ascertain answers to ourselves once we get on the ground in Butler. So the plan is to be live during our coverage tomorrow morning on CBS News Philadelphia, starting at 6 a.m. with a live presence on the ground. That'll be led by myself, and we'll bring you live coverage of this assassination attempt all morning long from 6 to 9 a.m. tomorrow on CBS News Philadelphia. Aziza?
Yeah, Ross, what I'm wondering is, were there people on your flight who were talking about this incident?
It seemed like there was a bit of a murmur. I mean, there was no getting around it. Everyone's heading to Pittsburgh on this flight, the site, the city most closely located to where this assassination attempt took place. So everyone was checking their phone. It seemed like there was definitely a murmur, and this was certainly the talk of the airport on our way out here.
All right, Ross. Well, thank you so much.